Okay, here we
I
go.
look ridiculous.
Here's the audience. Sweet. Hold it.
I like
There, we're done. Have you ever looked up into the sky and seen anything that you didn't know what it was? Not talking about a star, talking about a flying object that you didn't know what it was. According to the dictionary, a UFO is a flying object whose nature is unknown, especially those considered to have extraterrestrial origins. Now, that would be anything that you consider to be alien, not from Earth. Some common misconceptions about UFOs, that they're all flying saucers. Everybody thinks they're aliens, that they're going to attack us. You've seen these through Hollywood. Many movies where if it's a UFO, they think they're going to attack us and kill us all. That's a very common misconception. Another one is that it's always tied to aliens, even though it could be anything in the air. It could be an airplane that you can't see because it's dark. It could be anything, lights moving in the sky. You don't know what it is. That's why it's called UFO. What qualifies as a UFO? Anything that you see in the sky that you can't identify is a UFO. It could be mistaken for stars that you see in the sky that are just dimming. It's purely speculative from people's viewpoint. That's why it's very interesting, and that's why it gains a lot of stuff through the media and stuff like that. Some of the famous cases, I'll go through two of them. First one is the Phoenix Lights. It happened in Phoenix, Arizona. They say hundreds, possibly thousands of people were eyewitnesses and claim they saw a craft or lights or something. They claim they saw something. And the governor of Phoenix in 1997 actually took a group and did some studying further into this because everybody in Phoenix was freaking out. But he ended up making a joke out of it because everybody was acting like the sky was falling and he didn't want that. So he kind of just put it under the rug and made it a joke. However, the military later came out and said that they were floating flares that one night, which basically meant that they were had flares hooked up to parachutes, which meant they were floating. But people didn't believe that because how could they? They said there were 5 lights and they couldn't believe that it was a unison, like a triangle, like a craft would be. Then the second one would be Roswell, in Roswell, New Mexico. In 1947, the military released a press statement saying they discovered the crash of a flying disc. Now, flying disc, I don't really know what that is, but that's what was quoted. And it was not until 1977 that a person from apparently the military that day came forth and said he felt like the government covered up a lot of it. And now recently, the FBI released a document actually in April of 2011, this month, from 1950, a report saying that three so-called flying saucers were recovered and 3 human-shaped occupants were taken from each craft, all dressed in metallic cloth of a very fine texture. Now, that since is taken off, and numerous films, movies, and TV shows have been produced because of this, and it's basically taken over the state and is probably the most famous UFO case to date in history. Also, back to another common misconception is that they only happen in the United States. However, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of reports every day from people saying that they found a UFO in Europe, in Australia, wherever. Because, again, a UFO is completely speculative. It can be anything you want it to be. As long as you see something in the sky, it's night or day, doesn't matter. If you don't know what it is, that's a UFO. And in conclusion, nobody has ever 100% confirmed anything of an alien sighting. All we have is stuff like Roswell, where the military is very popular and they basically can cover up whatever they want, whether it was an actual alien or not. There's never been anything 100% proven. It's all speculation and it's all up to the government. possibly covering it up. And like I said, there's no reason to worry. Hollywood makes you think that aliens are coming to attack us any day now, but back to the misconception of a UFO equaling alien ship is not true. There have been UFO stories debunked where it's just an airplane in the sky at night that had its lights on. So there's no reason to worry. There's no reason to worry. And lastly, just keep your eyes and ears open, because you never know when you're going to see something in the sky and not know what the heck it is, and have a camera on you so you can prove it. But like I said, it's purely speculative, and that's the interesting part. And you never know what one day might bring you, whether it'll be aliens or whether it'll be just some random airplane in the sky that you don't know what it is. And that is it for UFOs.